coughing will commence shortly, I guarantee you.
Instead of the little controller. It's fun.
So I used to play stuff on my phone.
Good morning. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to the March 29, 2018 meeting for the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners, otherwise known as Opening Day.
You're right.
My name is Kevin Cook. I serve as the chair of the commission. Joining me today is Commissioner Shelley Bueller. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Commissioner Bob Archer. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'll put my apparel away.
Oh, you can leave it up here. I think that's all right. I think that's just fine.
Madam Clerk, we can start with our first item.
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
Are there any questions regarding the 4 items on the consent agenda?
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer for approval, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item 4, new business, A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
We have vouchers totaling $2,338,742.84. This is the time when we do our allocations. They are allocations to several social service agencies, aging services, TARC, Grace Med, and Vallejo are probably the largest amounts. That amount makes up $1,666,276.50. Past that, we have Capers, $300,709.76. And then our Health Insurance Administration, most of that is MedTrack, our prescription services, $116,820.06. And I have no questions. I'll move approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move for approval of the correction orders.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item B, Expo Center number 1, consider approval of request for a capital expenditure in the amount of $5,514.60 payable to the Kansas State Bank, Manhattan, Kansas, for lease of 2 forklifts from Sellers Equipment, second year.
Good morning, Commissioners. Justin Gregory, Kansas Expo Center. As she stated, it's a second year of a forklift lease. That covers that $5,514.60 covers the lease on both units we have leased from Sellers.
Might note this did go through the Expo Center Advisory Board and
Yes.
was approved by them as well.
Yes.
Any questions regarding this?
I have none. I'll move approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item C, corrections number 1, consider approval of resolution number 2018-14, naming the Shawnee County Juvenile Detention Center Library as the Topeka Optimist Club Juvenile Detention Center Library.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Coles, excuse me, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. This is an important day for us at Shawnee County and at the Department of Corrections, and I hope for all of Shawnee County that today that we're able to truly honor and appreciate the contributions of one of our local civil servant clubs, tremendous volunteer to the Shawnee County Department of Corrections, especially the Juvenile Detention Center. And I want to say that, you know, for well into my career, many years ago, that Dinah Pennington and Dinah Hales started a program, and that was to read to the juveniles. And I believe at one time Dinah had reached out to Ted Hine, who is here, and had mentioned about coming in and reading to the juveniles. Well, knowing Ted the way I do, who's been a mentor of mine and a teacher, a professor of mine at Washburn University, and still remembers when where I did my internship every time he sees me. He expressed not just to read to the kids, but to read and discuss, and to be able to understand what they're reading, the comprehension, understanding current events, decisions, and things like that. Since almost all of my career, and that's almost 30 years. The Optimist Club has been tremendous in donating books, donating tremendous amount of funds for our agency to build a sufficient and very big library for our juvenile offenders. I cannot express into words how valuable this has been to the Department of Corrections and to the juveniles. They do appreciate that there's people in the community that, although they may have made a bad decision, they do appreciate that there's others outside that come in to say thank you and help them through. One of the things that I talked to Ted, because Ted told me that he was nearing his career of being a volunteer, was something to honor the Optimist Club, as in maybe putting a plaque in the modules. Well, one of the CSs came to Major McCarty, who's here also, and said, I think it would be a very good idea and appropriate to rename or to name the library at the Juvenile Detention Center. I thought it was a wonderful idea. I met with Ted, and we both thought it was a good idea. I met with Jim Crowell to say, okay, how does this work? We're not renaming a whole building, things like this, and Jim thought that, passing a resolution would be appropriate. I met with you all. I do have Ted Hine, and I do have Ken Curl here from the Optimist Club. If I could have them come up real quick, and everybody with the Optimist Club to come up and maybe give a few words, and then I'm hoping and requesting that you approve the resolution. Were you wearing K-State stuff?
What else is there?
They're not in the Final Four.
Thank you, Commissioners, for the opportunity to be here. Actually, I sought Dinah out and said, what could we do? And she said, I read to them. Well, I was once superintendent of a prison, and I should have been doing that when people came in. But we started and come on Friday afternoons, and the support of the Department of Corrections has been excellent. I told them that when I visited the Cook County Jail, there was a plaque marking where Clarence Darrow spoke to the inmates. And I said, we don't have a Darrow in our group, but perhaps a plaque, and they outdid that. I know there was work involved, and I appreciate it. So we're coming up on 20 years, and I am retiring at the end of August. I want to introduce first, this is our president of the Optimist Club, Kristen Abel Bush, and would you be our official spokesperson to thank the county?
Yes. We greatly appreciate the opportunity to be here today, and thank you for considering this resolution.
And Ken Curl has been my reading partner since he came back to Kansas in 2008. And I let out a cry for help, and boy, did I get it. Ken, you?
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the opportunity to come in here, and I'm rather pleased to see the phenomena that's now apparent to me in the Juvenile Detention Center. That's the decline in numbers. And since last year, the numbers have gone down considerably. And I just hope that these programs that are supposed to be in development here in the county work, and we can eliminate a lot of people from being incarcerated. Because believe me, after 45 years in this business, I'm convinced that incarceration is the last method that you use, and preferably with adults, not kids. That's enough of me. I can talk to
Treasurer and Secretary and past governor of our district. Rod?
That's all I would like to say is thank you for the recognition, and thank you to guys like these two guys and the people that have come before him, because I know it's a lot of work and it's time out of their day on Friday to go up there and do what they do. And I know Ted, he's always got a story to tell about some young person he's run into up there or later, as he's out in the community, somebody will come up to him and say, hey, I remember you read me. And that's what it's all about. So thank you.
That's good. That's really good.
I might note that the motto for the Optimist Club is Friend of Youth.
Right.
Yes.
And Ted, you have embodied that through everything that you've done. You have been a friend of youth. And I think that this is a well-deserved honor, recognition, and it is a great honor to rename the library the Optimist Club Library, in work of honoring the friend of youth and all the work that you've done in the community.
Thank you.
Very good.
Commissioners?
I think we need to pass this resolution, though, right?
I'll make a motion
Okay,
to
I'll
approve the
second.
resolution.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller and Archer, but all, guys, Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0. Thank you very much, Ted. If we could just applaud Ted.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much, and we will have a plaque made, and I will get with Major McCarty, and we will put that at the youth center, at the detention center, so all the juveniles, when they come in here, they understand who really helped the foundation of this library. So this is a, thank you. And Ted will also be, later this next month, will also be our guest keynote speaker at the Volunteer Appreciation Banquet. And Ted is correct, he has a lot of stories.
Good.
Our next item, Madam Clerk.
Item C2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-113-2018 with Green Touch Lawn and Tree Service for the treatment of the corrections grounds at a cost of $1,500 for 1 year.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. This is basically the renewal of a contract that we've had that allows a company to come in and care for those areas, like for spraying and stuff, that you need a license to be able to do. We do have ground crews that are there to help to mow and things like this, but this goes to the other side of ensuring that our grounds stay nice, they stay full, that the trees, we've had a problem with some trees in our, and trees are very expensive to replace, and so we're trying to take care of what we have. One of the things in working with Betty is that we all both realize, and Major Eve Kendall did, is that this is a company that Bill Kroll had been working with, who has a county-wide contract, and we recognize that, and by the time he got his done and we got this, we didn't realize it was the same company. In talking with Betty, we are going to make sure as we go forward into the following years that we do have this money in the budget, but we're going to be working to make sure this all is into one big contract. So,
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the contract.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0.
thank you very much.
Our next item.
Item D, Human Resources, number 1, consider appointment of a grievance committee for grievance G 2018-0005.
Good morning, Commissioners. Angela Lewis with Human Resources. I'm in receipt of a Step 3 grievance appeal filed under the provisions of Article 11.1C of the Shawnee County Policy Manual. Upon request, the Commissioners may receive a complete copy of the grievance file. The following are my recommendations for the positions on the grievance committee. We'd like to appoint Mr. Brian Cole as the appointing authority, Ms. Rachel Hubbard as a light classification level employee, and Mr. Perfecto Gomez as an at-large employee. These people were chosen at random to serve on this committee.
Any questions regarding this?
I don't have any.
Commissioner Archer?
I was just going to say, this is a rare occurrence, isn't it? I can't
It is.
remember in my 5 years on the commission this occurring before. Can you step us through a little bit of how we got to this point and
Sure.
what happens?
Whenever there's a classified grievance, we put together a committee and pick people at random to serve on the committee. It is a very rare occurrence. We kind of draw lots, so to speak. This time it was a random number, and these are the names that came up for it.
Okay.
I'll move to approve the appointment of the grievance committee.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Item E, Health Department, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-114-2018 and amendment to contract C-492-2017 with the Kansas Department of Health and Environment for a chronic disease risk reduction grant, increasing the amount awarded by $9,780, bringing the new total to $68,433 to promote the Surgeon General's call to action to promote walking and walkable communities.
Good morning, Commissioners. Craig Barnes, Shawnee County Health Department. This is in relationship to a grant that we brought forth to you guys in February 26th in relations to getting some fundings for some trail wayfinding signage and a pedestrian counter to then track our successes and get some good measurements on the trails. So I just ask that you approve this amendment to the CDRR grant, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions.
Any questions regarding this amendment?
Move to approve the contract.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer to approve, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0.
Thank you very much.
Good luck, Craig, and thank you very much. Our next item.
Item F, Public Works Solid Waste. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-115-2018, amendment to contract C-69-2018 with Open Edge Global Payments Direct to process credit card payments for solid waste customers at a rate of 2.5% per transaction from the Shawnee County Solid Waste Department's operational budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Block with Public Works and Solid Waste. As mentioned, this is a solid waste issue. And periodically, we have customers that want to come into our office and make payments or call in by phone and just pay by credit card over the phone. This company, Open Edge Global Payments Direct, provides that service. And recently, Parks and Recreation went to use this company. We just want to basically piggyback onto that same contract with same terms and conditions, and at the same time, reduce our fees quite a bit. The previous provider had some terms in their renewal of their contract that, after legal reviews, I understand it, we could not agree to. This company provides everything that we can be in agreement with, and at a much better fee. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Any questions regarding this?
Move approval.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Our next item.
Item G, County Councilor. Number 1, consider approval of request to advertise and fill a soon-to-be vacant legal secretary position at an annual salary, including benefits, of $44,491.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Crowell, Shawnee County Councilor. Alana Mickelson in my office has given notice of resignation for personal reasons. She was considerate enough to give us quite a bit of heads up as to when will be her last day, so we want to move forward with filling that important position in our office.
Any questions?
Move to approve the request.
Second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item G2, consider authorization to sell parcel number 133-050-101-200-1000, commonly known as 0000 Southeast Lawrence Street, to Voyager Pacific Opportunity Fund 2, LLC, Hillsborough, at a cost of $400.
Good morning again. This property is one that is in the county's name by virtue of the fact of going through a tax foreclosure proceeding. No one bid on the property through that proceeding. This is a vacant lot, so when that occurs, it ends up in the name of the Board of County Commissioners. Through a specific statutory process, once we get a property like this, we follow a notification period where we notify the opportunity to purchase this property through the official county newspaper. 3 times it's noticed, and it sits there for a period of 6 months. And then if we do not receive any offers through that, we can basically take any offers we get. That's really the situation here. The proposed purchaser contacted us and made the offer to purchase the property for $400. We've received no other offers on the property. And if we do accept this, then we will no longer have the obligation to maintain the property, mow it, that sort of thing. So we recommend acceptance of this offer based upon the fact that we've received no other offers, and it did receive no bids during the tax foreclosure proceeding that it was in.
Just a couple of questions or notes. For 7 years, the county has not had this on the tax rolls, and we've been responsible for maintaining it, mowing it, keeping it up for 7 years. And then for the last 3 years, it could have been sold, but no one bid on it. So-
Correct, and we send letters to all the adjoining property owners to see if there might be someone that's interested. That's how we are able to get rid of some of these properties through neighbors, but there were just no takers on this one until now.
How many parcels, I mean, do we have a list of parcels similar to this that?
There are 6, including this one, that are vacant lots that are in our name. We think we're maybe going to get some offers on a few of those. But there aren't a huge number, because we don't like to put a lot of vacant lots in our tax foreclosure sales for the very purpose of, if they do not get an offer, then we're responsible for maintaining those.
Questions? I'll move approval of the offer to sell the property for $400 to Voyager Pacific Opportunity Fund 2.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Item 5, administrative communications.
This is an opportunity, if there's any department heads or members of the public, to address the commission on any item, so take the opportunity.
Commissioners, Tom Block again, Public Works Solid Waste. It's just a reminder, it's going to be the first Saturday of the month, Saturday, so we will be having the Household Hazardous Waste Collection event at our facility at 131 Northeast 46th Street from 9 a.m. to noon, where we will collect free of charge from county residents, again, all household hazardous waste materials, oils, paints, herbicides, pesticides, light bulbs, batteries, things of that nature. So we will be there.
Great.
Thank you.
Tom, is that this Saturday
First
or next
Saturday?
Saturday?
I'm sorry, am I 31st? Oh, it would be next Saturday. I was
Be
thinking
next
it was
Saturday?
April 1st. So I'm a week, thank you.
You're early.
Yes,
You're
April
early.
Fool's.
That's all right.
So a week from now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking it was April 1st.
I know.
Thank you for your attention. Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
April 7th then, right? Yeah.
Good morning, Commissioners. Justin Gregory, Kansas Expo Center. Update on the events that we are currently hosting at the Expo Center. Today is the second day and final day of the Future Business Leaders of America Conference. It was a great turnaround from Kansas Kids Wrestling to FBLA Conference. It's great to fill that building with kids, and it's very exciting. Moving on to this weekend's event in Dome Arena, we're hosting the United States Team Roping Championship annual spring roping. We'll have contestants from 7 states come to Shawnee County for the weekend. Looking forward to a great turnout there. At the same time, we'll also be building a sheet of ice for the Roadrunners' upcoming homestand next weekend. Puck drops at 7:05 and on Friday and 7:05 on Saturday.
All right. Thank you.
Good morning, Charles Heidovich, District Court. I'd like to remind everybody that in 23 days we have Clean Slate Day, which is the expungement program that the Topeka Bar Association, Legal Community DA's Office, and the court have got joined together to make happen on April 20th. This is going to allow those folks who have qualifying arrests, criminal convictions, or diversions expunged. And it's only applicable to those cases that originate in Shawnee County District Court, not municipal court or federal court. It's going to be held on the 20th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Ag Hall. The fee is $195. We accept all forms of payment except for cash. The final hearings will be on June 25 and 26, and tonight is the first information meeting at the library in room 101B. From 7 to 8:45 p.m. And then the following one is on April 13th from 3 to 5 p.m., same location.
All right. Great.
Good.
So
Alrighty.
tonight at the library is the time to get some information and start the process.
That's correct.
Okay. Get a publication out to that and see if we can do it. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other administrative communications this morning? Commissioner Archer, anything?
Enjoying the game?
Yeah. I hope to stay warm.
Hopefully the sun comes out and
Yes.
it'll be a
Yeah.
nice time.
Commissioner,
I
do
don't have
anything?
anything.
I know that we have opening day today, but then there's also some activities this weekend. Everybody please stay safe on Saturday, and if you're watching the game, and then enjoy time with family this weekend.
Definitely.
Our next item.
Item 6, executive session.
There is a need for an executive session. This would be to preliminary discussion regarding the acquisition of real property, specifically the acquisition of a right-of-way for road improvements, not to exceed 10 minutes, and that is a motion.
Second.
Or second, yes.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, Commissioner Archer, second. I think
Yep,
he beat you
you
to it.
did.
All
You
in
did.
favor, say aye. All opposed? We are approved and into executive session for 10 minutes.
Go ahead.
We are back from executive session. No action was taken. We are adjourned.